At our engagement party, my fiancée Isabella finally arrived fashionably late and on the arm of another man. She told me she wanted to call it off. That's when a comment started scrolling across my vision like a live chat feed superimposed on reality. Here we go. Here we go. This is the scene. The female lead acts tough and says she wants to break up, but she's just waiting for the male lead to beg her to stay. Don't do it, dude. She's being a total drama queen. She's just scared that if she loves you too much, you'll have all the power after the wedding. You can't really blame her for acting out. At the end of the day, the male lead just hasn't given her enough of a sense of security. The strange words floated in front of my eyes and my brain short-circuited for a second. The text kept scrolling. Yes, he's about to get jealous. As soon as he begs her to stay, she'll ditch the male bestie in a heartbeat. The cold, ruthless CEO, the high-maintenance beauty. She runs, he chases, and there's no escape. Snapping back to reality, I turned my head. Isabella's expression was cold, but I could see a flicker of anticipation hidden in her eyes. Without a moment's hesitation, I looked right at her. You got it. We're done. Isabella, who had clearly been expecting a different outcome, froze. Her face went blank. What did you say? I said, I agree. The engagement is off. A hush fell over the guests, followed instantly by a wave of whispers. At the same time, the chat feed exploded. What was he saying? He was supposed to grovel and plead with her not to leave. That other guy is just her best friend. They've known each other for years. If they're going to get together, they would have done it long before you came along. She's about to shatter. You have to console our girl or we'll never forgive you. I ignored the ridiculous comments and stared at Isabella's still incredulous face. My voice was ice. Today, in front of both our families, you decided to bring your new man to our engagement party. Since you've made your choice, the least I can do is get out of your way. I let that hang in the air for a second, but our families have history. You could have said something yesterday or last week. The fact that you waited until this exact moment at this party shows you have zero respect for the Thorne family. You're deliberately dragging our name through the mud. So, from this day forward, I said, my voice dropping lower, our families are done, too. Isabella's family ran a boutique marketing firm. After she became my girlfriend, I invested heavily in her family's company, funneling major projects from Thorne Industries their way. I truly couldn't comprehend her sense of superiority. Without my backing, the Vance family business was a few bad quarters away from total collapse. It was time she learned that lesson. Ashley, I called out. Yes, Mr. Thorne. Terminate all active and pending contracts with the Vance Group. Immediately. Ashley, my executive assistant, had been glaring daggers at Isabella. When she heard my order, she practically sprinted out of the room to make the calls, as if afraid I'd change my mind if she waited a second too long. My parents, who had been furious, visibly relaxed when they saw my decisiveness. Isabella's parents tried to step in and smooth things over. I gave them no quarter. I assume you both knew about your daughter's little stunt today and let it happen anyway, or did you just think Lucas Thorne was some kind of pushover? My tone was sharp enough to cut glass, and they quickly shut their mouths. Isabella's lips parted. She took an involuntary step forward as if to say something. I pointed at the diamond necklace glittering on her throat. Since the engagement is off, I'll be needing that back. It was a custom piece I paid $3 million for. She no longer deserved it. As I spoke, I knotted the silk tie she'd given me and held it out to her. The chat feed went absolutely nuclear. No way. No way. He's taking the gifts back. This is setting up a major grueling arc later on. So cringe. Who asked for a gift back? Just goes to show you. Even the richest guys are cheap. OMG, my poor baby Isabella. She was just testing him and he gave up without even trying. I knew I shouldn't believe in love. Crying emoji. Seeing me remove the tie, Isabella's face was still a mask of disbelief. Her expression shifted through several emotions before she finally softened her tone. Lucas, I know you don't really want this. Her voice was low, meant only for me. You've only ever loved me. We have too much history to just throw it all away. She paused, then delivered the ultimatum. Beg me, Promise me that from now on I come first no matter what. If you do that, I might reconsider." My mother, standing nearby, had heard enough. She marched over and furiously unclasped the necklace from Isabella's neck. "What kind of nonsense is that? Plenty of women would kill to be with my son. You're not the only one. This engagement is over." "Dawn, get out," she snapped. Not 1 minute later, my father, seeing my mother on the verge of exploding, turned to Isabella's parents. "The engagement is off. I don't think there's any reason for you to stay." With that, he and my mom went to mingle with our own family and friends, leaving the Van Sass standing alone. Humiliated, they scurried away without another word. The chat feed was still buzzing.
No.
Are we fast-forwarding to the finale already? This is all the male lead's fault. His stupid pride got in the way. Doesn't he know pride is worthless? What would have caused him to just swallow it and comfort her? She's furious. The consequences will be severe. The only way he gets her forgiveness is if he gets on his knees. Isabella remained frozen in place. Her male bestie, Chad Miller, chose that moment to speak up, his voice deliberately loud. "Izzy, aren't you happy? This is what you wanted." Isabella gritted her teeth. "Happy? I'm ecstatic." Chad shot me a triumphant look. "Lucas, you wanted this all along, didn't you? You were just jealous of my friendship with Izzy. For a guy like you, you're incredibly petty." He wrapped his arm around Isabella's shoulders. "Izzy is an amazing woman. I'll take good care of her. You're going to regret losing her." The chat feed hit another peak. "Ooh, here we go. The drama is starting. 2 guys, 1 girl. This is going to be good. He's jealous. Don't let her go, you fool. Fight, fight, fight. We want a testosterone-fueled showdown." I gave Chad a lazy, dismissive glance and went for the kill. "Are you a recycling plant? Because you seem to specialize in taking in trash." His face fell. The engagement ends, and not 5 minutes later, you're swooping in to pick up the scraps. Were you a hyena in a past life? I continued, my voice dripping with contempt. "I don't know if I'll regret it or not, but let me give you some man-to-man advice. Watch your back. You don't want to be the last one to know you're a fool." My words hit Chad like a physical blow. His face cycled between red and white. He pointed a trembling finger at me. "Isabella is a woman. How can you, a grown man, talk about her like that? When I said I take care of her, I meant as a friend." "You're just twisting our pure friendship into something ugly," he sputtered. "With what you just said, you've destroyed any chance of getting back together with her." He spoke loudly, his eyes darting toward Isabella, a hopeful glint in them he couldn't quite hide. "Oh, Mayo. Lucas's insults are legendary. A goddamn recycling plant. A hyena. Dude upstairs, you're missing the point. He just called the female lead trash, too. Oh crap, he really pissed her off now. The other guy is actually going to get the girl. Isabella, fight back. Find a way to slap him in the face metaphorically." Isabella's face was ashen. She tugged on Chad's sleeve, her voice urgent. "Chad, stop it." She then turned to me, her expression a complex mix of emotions, but with a calculated look in her eyes. After a moment, she spoke, her tone dripping with entitlement. "Lucas, we were together for 3 years. A woman's youth is precious. If you're ending this today, you owe me compensation." She squared her shoulders. $30 million and a penthouse on Park Avenue. That's my price. "You're a thorn," she added dismissively. "You can afford it. It's nothing to you. Let's just call it a clean break." Is this the same female lead I know? Demanding a payout for her wasted youth doesn't seem right. Why not? A woman's prime years are priceless. That jerk wasted 3 years of her life. He should absolutely pay up. Don't let him off easy. She can't be serious. Maybe she's just saying this to make him come to his senses. A desperate gambit to get him back. I'm holding out hope. I was stunned. So, when manipulation failed, her backup plan was straight-up extortion. "I'll laugh coldly if I say no." Isabella's face hardened. "If you don't pay, I'll post everything online. I'll tell the world you slept with me for years and then threw me away. The public will support me. After all, she said with a smirk, I'm the woman. No one would believe I'd lie about my own reputation. Let's see who'll be willing to marry you then. Holy crap! Did I hear that right? Is this gold digger really our female lead on a roundhouse kicker in the next week? But maybe she's just trying to force him to marry her. She still loves him deep down, right? To the person above, if you're not using your brain, please donate it to science. You have zero critical thinking skills. Clearly, you slept through middle school civics. I'm sorry, Lucas. I apologize for what I said earlier. You were right to reject her. The tide in the chat feed had suddenly turned. People were actually siding with me, apologizing. Looking at Isabella's smug, confident face, I realized just how blind I'd been. Her lips curled into a triumphant smile. Think about it, Lucas. Once your reputation is ruined, no one will marry you except me. She stared at me, expecting to see fear, compromise, anything. I took a step forward, ready to verbally dismantle her when a new voice cut through the tension from behind me. I will. I'll marry you, Lucas. I'll marry you. A woman in a stunning red dress, her hair pulled back in a high ponytail, looked like a vibrant rose in full bloom. She navigated the room in high heels, jogging toward me as she passed Isabella. She gave her a sharp, deliberate shove. She stopped right in front of me, her eyes sparkling as she waved. Lucas, it's me, Chloe Reed. We sat next to each other in elementary school. Whoa, isn't that the cannon fodder supporting character? The one who's been in love with him for years and moved overseas when she heard he was engaged. Poor girl. I heard she cried all night yesterday when she got the engagement announcement. Then today, she heard Isabella was calling it off and immediately booked a flight back. Lucas, open your eyes. Someone has been loving you quietly from the shadows this whole time. Serves Isabella right for being so extra and bringing her bestie to the party. Now a real rival has shown up and she's furious. Haha, more drama. The chat feed exploded like fireworks. I stared at the gorgeous woman in front of me, trying to reconcile her with the chubby, bossy little girl from my memories. It was impossible. Chloe, you've changed. Chloe shyly tucked a stray strand of hair behind her ear and gave me a playful wink. For the better, I hope. Her expression turned serious. Lucas, I'm in love with you. Will you marry me? My jaw dropped. We were already at the proposal stage. Seeing my silence, she glanced meaningfully at Isabella. Don't worry, I don't have any male besties. I've always saved myself for the right person. She continued her pitch. I believe in equality. Everyone's youth is precious, not just a woman's. And if you marry me, I don't need a prenup. And my parents are giving us a massive wedding gift. Just think about it. Isabella, who had been stunned silent, looked back and forth between us. Lucas, you. A sudden look of understanding crossed her face and her voice became smug. Are you doing this on purpose? Did you hire her just to make me jealous? This time I couldn't help it. I burst out laughing. Isabella, your confidence is truly remarkable given how utterly average you are. Every head in the room swiveled toward us. Isabella's face turned scarlet with a mixture of rage and humiliation. I looked her dead in the eye, speaking each word with crystal clarity. Breaking up with you is the best decision I've ever made. I will never regret it. And please don't flatter yourself. You're not important enough for me to waste time staging this kind of performance. I sincerely hope you and your friend here, I gesture, Chad, are very happy together. Please lock it down so you don't inflict yourselves on anyone else. Isabella was completely dumbfounded. She finally found her voice, filled with indignant rage. Lucas, what about the 3 years we spent together? What were they? A really bad investment. All the promises you made expired. You really won't regret this. As sure as gold is gold. Isabella was trembling from head to toe. Chad tried to touch her arm, but she violently shoved him away. Get away from me, she shrieked. She looked at me, her face a mask of fury and disappointment, her voice cracking as she held back tears. Lucas, you've disappointed me more than I can say. I will never forgive you for this." With that, she turned and ran, stumbling out of the room in tears. Chad, after a moment's hesitation, chased after her. How the plot gets so derailed. It's officially over between the main characters. Can I borrow Lucas's savage tongue for a couple of days? I'll pay. No, my sweet romance novel is dead. What's the point of reading anymore? Wait, there's still the supporting character. She brought him a gift but was too shy to give it to him. The red text in my vision was practically glowing. I turned to Chloe, who was standing there looking a bit dazed. "You brought me a gift?" "Oh, right. Chloe snapped out of it and fumbled in her purse, pulling out a small velvet box. She handed it to me. "I hope you like it." She watched with wide, expectant eyes as I opened it. Inside was a high-end watch from my favorite brand, a limited edition model I'd been trying to get for months. It was probably worth as much as a condo. "How did you know I wanted this exact one?" I asked, genuinely curious. Chloe hesitated, words forming on her lips before she seemed to think better of it. She ended up saying nonchalantly, "Oh, I just saw you wearing the same brand before, so I figured you were a fan." I just scroll back through the archives. This girl is basically a professional stalker. She follows him everywhere, has burner accounts to track his social media, and found out he collects watches, so she flies all over the world hunting him down. I heard he likes pastries, so she hired a master pastry chef to teach her. She ended up making a brick of charcoal, cried for 2 days, and then just bought several bakeries instead. I'm dead. This is true love. Girl, you are down bad. Reading the comments, I couldn't suppress another laugh. I took the watch out and fastened it onto my wrist. Chloe's eyes widened and a deep blush spread across her cheeks. She stammered, "Lucas does. Does this mean you'll marry? I mean, you're accepting my proposal." I smiled. "I think we should probably get to know each other a little first. See if we're a good fit." A mischievous glint appeared in Chloe's eyes. "Okay, how about we start with a drink?" I opened my eyes, my head pounding. I rolled over and found myself staring directly into another pair of eyes. I was instantly awake. "You're up," Chloe said softly. She was wearing only a thin camisole, her skin exposed, looking up at me with an expression of pure innocence. I looked around at the unfamiliar room. Where are we? My apartment. My brain exploded. I threw back the covers and saw that I was completely naked. I glanced at Chloe and noticed several fresh hickeys on her neck. I remembered going for drinks with her yesterday. I'd had too much. She said she'd take me home. And then she brought me to her bed. "I'm so sorry," I said, rubbing my temples. "Last night is a blur." Realizing how that sounded, I quickly added, "I don't mean it like that. If this was my fault, I'll take full responsibility." As the words left my mouth, a flood of red comments filled my vision. Holy S, they slept together. "See, Chloe, I kneel before you." She knew he was a lightweight, so she got him drunk on purpose and took him home. A true genius. Her love for him is basically an obsession. Even knowing he didn't love her back, she was determined to give him her first time. This is what real love looks like. After she found out he was engaged, she was planning on staying single for the rest of her life. Chloe finished getting dressed, her expression unreadable. Then she put on a bright smile and said breezily, "It wasn't your fault. You got sick all over yourself last night. I had to take your clothes off to clean you up, and you had to take your own off too." I thought, but kept it to myself. "You promised yesterday that we could start as friends," Chloe said, her voice soft but firm. "You can't go back on your word." I saw the intense hope and affection in her eyes. She was young, beautiful, from a good family, and she genuinely loved me. According to the comments, she was even willing to be alone forever for my sake. I couldn't bring myself to crush a heart that pure. You only live once. You might as well do something crazy. I stopped overthinking it, looking into her gentle eyes. I spoke with complete sincerity. "Let's get married. I promise I'll do my best to be a good husband." The chat feed went berserk. It was a non-stop stream of fireworks. Oh my God, yes. Marriage first, love later. My favorite trope. More, please. Is the original female lead completely out of the picture now? For real. I hereby declare that from this moment forward, Chloe Reed is the new female lead. You two get married right now on the spot. On Monday, Chloe and I went to City Hall and got our marriage license. We were officially husband and wife. I know this was sudden, but I've cleared my schedule for a few days. How about we get out of the city for a bit just to relax? I asked. A honeymoon? Chloe asked, her eyes shining as she looked up at me. You don't like the idea? No, I love it, she said, nodding enthusiastically. When do we leave, honey? She hooked her arm through mine, her soft chest pressing against my bicep like a pillow. The nickname, honey, still felt a little foreign, and I awkwardly rubbed the back of my neck. Chloe must have misinterpreted my reaction. Her eyes welled up and her voice became small and fragile. Oh, does it bother you when I call you that? I know you only married me out of a sense of duty. I'll be more careful in the future. No, that's not it, I said quickly. You're overthinking it. Well, turnabout is fair play. You should call me your wife. Chloe stared at me unblinking. When I didn't respond, her lower lip started to tremble and she looked like she was on the verge of tears. Sigh. I guess I shouldn't expect too much from a marriage without love. I'm sorry for making things so difficult for you. Stop it, I blurted out, feeling like I was being backed into a corner. I pulled her into a hug, effectively silencing her. Wife. The comments streamed by. Haha, I feel like the male lead is being completely played by the new female lead. Turns out I don't hate manipulative women. I just hate when they're not manipulating me. Can't wait for the honeymoon trip. By the way, what's the original female lead up to? It's so weird she hasn't tried to contact him. I know she's busy fighting with Chad. I held my beautiful new wife in my arms as the feed kept updating me. Isabella tried to call Lucas, but Chad stopped her. He told her Lucas was just playing hard to get and then started trash-talking him again. LMAO, Isabella told Chad to shut his toxic mouth and said all his advice was garbage. Looks like she's actually panicking now. She told Chad if she doesn't end up marrying Lucas, she's going to make him pay. It's a dog-eat-dog world. How is it that without the male lead around, these two best friends are about to implode? Amazing. Chloe and I officially began our honeymoon in Napa Valley. The first day, she dragged me all over, from vineyard tours to boutique shops, seemingly tireless. I had to wonder, do all women have this much stamina? That evening, back at her hotel, I collapsed onto the bed. Chloe pulled a lacy little number she'd bought earlier out of her bag. Honey, what do you think? It's nice, I said honestly. She gave me a sultry wink. Wait here. I'm going to take a shower, and then I'll give you a private fashion show. The sound of running water filled the room. I sat on the bed waiting, a sense of anticipation building within me. Incoming. The X is finally cracking. She's about to call him. Is this the plot correcting itself? If she apologizes, will he soften up and regret his decision? No. I was promised something for adults. I've already taken my pants off. The moment the comment appeared, my phone rang. I glanced at the screen. Sure enough, it was Isabella, my ex-fiancée, my one and only criminal record. When we were together, I knew about her male best friend. At the time, I figured everyone has friends of the opposite sex, and as long as they didn't cross any lines, it was fine. But she crossed them all. She forgot our anniversary to go to his birthday party. She was on a road trip with him while I was homesick with the flu. And whenever I got upset about it, she turned it around on me, calling me insecure and controlling. Now that I'd given her what she wanted, she still had the nerve to call me. Without a second thought, I declined the call. The phone immediately buzzed again. I hit decline. The number called back again, relentless. You're not going to answer that? Chloe asked, poking her head out of the bathroom. Her semi-sheer nightgown revealed an impressive silhouette, and her face was flushed from steam, making her look incredibly tempting. It's no one important, I said, declining the call one last time before blocking the number. In that case, she said, her big, watery eyes meeting mine, could you come help me with the clasp on my bra? I can't reach it by myself. On my way, I stood up and walked into the bathroom. Ah, what is this that my premium membership can't see? Why is it all pixelated? I demand unrated HD uncensored now. And at that moment, the heart of an action movie aficionado quietly broke. After a few days of indulgence, our honeymoon came to an end. Back at the office, my first day was interrupted by a call from an unknown number. The second I heard Isabella's voice, I hung up and blocked it. At the end of the day, I walked out of the Thorn Industries headquarters to find Chloe waiting for me by the curb. "Honey, I came to pick you up from work," she said, waving with a bright smile. "Let's go home together." I took her hand and gently brushed a stray hair from her forehead. My assistant, Ashley, walked past, giving us a playful smile. "Mr. Thorne, you and Mrs. Thorne are such a perfect couple." Just then, a figure approached from down the street. It was a familiar face, though she looked haggard and stressed. "Lucas, why won't you answer my calls?" "You blocked me," Isabella demanded, her brow furrowed. The chat feed lit up. "Yes, here it is. The dramatic confrontation. Too bad he's a married man now. The ex-girlfriend is officially too late, but they were together for years. What if he still has feelings for her?" I looked at Isabella, my face a blank mask. "We broke up. Why would I answer your calls?" "What? Did your male bestie run out of bad advice for you?" Isabella's face darkened. "So, you're still hung up on chat? I've told you a million times. We're just friends. We could sleep in the same bed and nothing would happen." She suddenly noticed my hand intertwined with Chloe's and angrily grabbed my arm. "Who is she? Why are you holding her hand?" Chloe arched an eyebrow and stepped between us. "Miss, I don't think it's appropriate to be grabbing another woman's husband in public, do you? Lucas is my fiancé. What does it have to do with you? Who do you think you are?" Isabella shot back. Chloe frowned, then dramatically threw herself into my arms, pressing her cheek against my chest. "Sigh. I'm just Lucas's plain, ordinary wife. I can't possibly compare to his glamorous ex-fiancé. Chloe is so delightfully petty. I love it. Isabella is not in the same league. Let's watch Chloe verbally dismantle her for Lucas's sake. I need a girlfriend like Chloe in my life." "What did you say?" Isabella's eyes widened in fury. "We're married legally," Chloe said, proudly flashing the massive diamond on her finger. She snuggled closer to me. "Honey, this ring you bought me is so big. I love it so much." Isabella's expression twisted with rage, but she quickly composed herself. "Do you have any idea how long Lucas chased me? It took him 2 years before I even agreed to a date. Everyone knows he'd do anything for me." "I remember you," she said, pointing at Chloe. "You were at the engagement party, and now you're his wife. Who's going to believe that?" The more she spoke, the more convinced she became. She looked at me haughtily. "Lucas, I know you still love me. I can promise to spend less time with Chad. You can stop this little charade now. Hiring an actress to be your wife is just childish." The chat feed exploded again. "Ma'am, who gave you this much confidence? Was it an act of Congress? If I had half of Isabella's self-assurance, I could probably be president. I really want to crack her head open and see what's inside." Friendly reminder to the person above, you'll probably just get your hand dirty. I almost laughed out loud at her absurdity. What kind of bizarre logic was she operating on? I had made it perfectly clear the day of the party that we were done. I'd ignored her calls and blocked her number. My position couldn't have been more obvious. And yet, she still thought I was playing hard to get, that I couldn't live without her. At that moment, I was done being polite. "Isabella, if you don't have a mirror, find a puddle. Take a good long look at yourself and ask what makes you think I'd ever want you back." My voice was low and dangerous. "I loved you once, that's true. But that doesn't mean I'll tolerate your insanity forever. If you ever speak to my wife disrespectfully again, I will show you exactly what I'm capable of. From now on, stay out of my sight. Your presence pollutes the air." Isabella's mouth fell open and tears started streaming down her face. "Lucas, what happened to you? You were never like this. You betrayed our love." Chloe spoke up, her voice dripping with mock sympathy. "Oh, honey, you have a male bestie you eat with, sleep with, and travel with, but your relationship is totally pure, and Lucas, who married me after you publicly dumped him, is the one who betrayed you." She shook her head slowly. "Your ego is so big, you couldn't stew it in one pot." I patted Chloe's back soothingly. She turned to me and said in a stage whisper, "Honey, let's go. If we stay here any longer, I think I might actually be sick." Isabella was speechless, tears continuing to flow. "Izzy, I called you, but you didn't answer. Why are you here?" Chad suddenly materialized from across the street, rushing to her side. Seeing her crying, he immediately rounded on me. "Lucas, you're pathetic. You're still throwing a tantrum just because Izzy and I are close. You're so damn petty." The chat feed was collectively exasperated. Chat is hilarious. His brain works on the same weird frequency as hers. They're a perfect match. Poor Lucas. These two are like clowns you can't get rid of. The weather is turning cold. It's time for the Miller family to go bankrupt. I felt like I was just walking down the street and had stepped in something disgusting. I repeated myself one last time. I am married. The two of you need to stay the hell away from me. If you piss me off again, you will not like the consequences. Chad finally seemed to notice Chloe in my arms. His expression flickered, and a hint of surprise or maybe pleasure flashed in his eyes. He scoffed loudly. "Lucas, you break up with Izzy and immediately move on to the next one. I bet you two were hooking up behind her back all along." I snapped my fingers. Two of my building security guards, both built like linebackers, were on him in a second. They twisted his arms behind his back and slammed him face down onto the pavement. "Let me go. You can't do this. I'm calling the police," he yelled. I looked down at him and kicked him squarely between the legs. "This is my property. What exactly are you going to do about it?" I leaned down. "That little accusation you just made is slander. It damages my reputation. My lawyers will be in touch. And one more thing, you're so fond of Isabella. Then keep her on a leash. My wife doesn't like seeing her. And when my wife is unhappy, I make sure the people responsible for it are even unhappier." The chat feed cheered. "Yes. So satisfying. I just got up and slapped my boyfriend twice for no reason. What if you don't have a boyfriend?" I was so worked up. I just started pacing around my apartment and ended up slapping my dog. Lucas doesn't mess around. He's married now, and his wife comes first. I love a man like that. I turned to Isabella for one final piece of advice. "Isabella, do yourself a favor. Make an appointment with a psychiatrist." With my arm around Chloe, I walked away without a backward glance. Behind us, the fight began. "This is all your fault and your stupid ideas. Now he's married and he doesn't want me. Don't blame this all on me. You agreed to it. You said you wanted to put him in his place before the wedding so you could control him later. I only agreed because you kept poisoning my ear. If you hadn't been hanging around me all the time, Lucas never would have doubted our relationship." "Oh, give me a break, Isabella. You like the attention. You like having me around to make him jealous. We've done everything together except sleep in the same bed." Slap. Isabella slapped Chad across the face, and they started shoving each other. Chad's voice rose to a hysterical shriek. "We've known each other for 10 years, Isabella, and you've treated me like your goddamn backup plan the entire time. Lucas dumps you, and you're still shamelessly chasing after him. Where's your self-respect? What does he have besides a pile of money? Is that all you ever cared about?" Isabella kept hitting him. "Shut up. Shut up." Once we were in the car, Chloe turned to me, a sly grin on her face. "Honey, your taste in women used to be terrible." "My standards have improved," I said, and leaned over to kiss her. The driver started the car and we sped away. On the day of our wedding, a few stray comments drifted across my vision. Big news, big news. The ex-girlfriend tried to crash the wedding at the hotel but got stopped by security. She looks really unstable. That idiot Chad is still running his mouth about Lucas. Isabella told him to stop spewing garbage. Oh, something's not right. The look in her eyes, she looks like she wants to kill someone. I was exchanging rings with Chloe, lifting her veil to kiss her. Whatever was happening with those two was no longer my problem. A few seconds later, the chat feed went into a frenzy. Holy S. Holy S. Holy S. It's a murder. She stabbed him. Isabella just stabbed Chad. There's so much blood. She's lost her mind. She keeps stabbing him and screaming, "It's all your fault. It's all your fault." This is brutal. No one dares to get close. By the time the cops got here, Chad was basically gone. Looks like Chad is being written out of the show. RIP. Hope he's a better person in the next life. OMG, the police are here. It's a life sentence in prison for the ex. Can we stop talking about those two psychos? Our boy just got married. Let's wish them the best. Congratulations to the happy couple. Congratulations, Lucas. That night, Chloe and I were lying in bed. "Wife," I asked curiously, "when did you actually start liking me?" Chloe blushed. "Do you remember back in elementary school when we played house? No one ever wanted to pick me to be the wife. But you did." I remembered she was chubby back then and hit surprisingly hard. I had only agreed because she'd threatened me. I also remembered her promising that when she grew up, she'd make a lot of money and take care of me. Her eyes sparkled as she looked at me. "You remember?" I leaned in and captured her lips with mine. "You were adorable." Turns out it was all destined to happen. I had more money than I could ever spend and a sweet, beautiful wife. The rest of our lives stretched out before us.